Hi, Gary Stearman. Welcome to another daily update from Prophecy Watchers. I got a couple of very special people in studio today, Bruce Hall and Aaron Judkins. Guys, welcome to Prophecy Watchers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This DVD is an amazing DVD. It's called Finding Noah. Well, how do you find Noah? You have to track him down, and that's exactly what you did. You went to the top of Mount Ararat. That's right. Both of these guys have been up on Mount Ararat, 17,000 feet. And you are a structural engineer, Bruce. And Aaron, you're someone who writes. You're not known as a great mountain climber, but you both became great mountain climbers for a while, right?
For a while.
Temporarily.
How in the world did you get up there? Why did you do this? Because it would seem like a foolhardy mission. Something must have motivated you greatly.
Mine was my faith that it is there in some form or fashion. It may not be in one big piece. In fact, I believe it's in pieces, in some type of ruins, and we could put those pieces back together and come up with this was a real boat that I believe it is.
And Aaron, for you, what was the quest?
Well, the quest as an archaeologist is to confirm if there's a structure on Greater Ararat. That would change everything we know about history. It should rewrite history, because according to the standard evolutionary timeline of life origins, this story there's no room for this. Mm-hmm. And because we come from a biblical point of view, and we do believe in the Genesis 6 account, and when this Noah's flood and the great deluge covered the entire earth, this is probably the single sole surviving pre-flood artifact to exist. Now there may be others, but
and
this is one
you
that
find evidence to the effect that it was a real event,
Yeah.
and that Noah really did carry all these animals across the flood, as
Right.
the Bible describes it. That's a huge story. I mean, it's something that's almost irrefutable. It just would stand on its own.
Well, it would. It would change everything we know about history and science, because it would change zoology, archaeology, paleontology. The flood really tells the story of what happened. It's the record in the rocks, the fossils in the rocks, and this whole story of the flood. That the ark was, the Hebrews had a very interesting word for the ark. They used the word tebah, which means an ark or a chest, a rectangular box. And we have this, Sunday school vision of the ark being a boat with animals sticking their head
Mm-hmm.
out. That's not what the ark was. The ark was really not meant to sail. It was not a boat the way we would think of it. It was really a life support vessel. And when you have this huge ark that is meant to carry mankind forward through this great deluge, only 8 people were on this thing. And you have to ask yourself why. And, some theologians have speculated that the ark was only 40% capacity, which means 60% would have been empty. Well, why is that? Because there was room for people to get on that ark, and they missed it. And so this is the story that we don't really hear very often, because, see, when Noah was constructing this, it was a long period of time. Right? And then Methuselah lived 969 years. His purpose was to live, because his name meant his death shall bring. Mm-hmm. Noah's name means rest. So when Methuselah died, his death brought the flood. That's a judgment. And see, that judgment was on the earth, but because Noah was found righteous in his generation, not because he was perfect. None of us were perfect.
And you wanted to validate this whole story
Yeah.
with physical evidence, and
Right.
I can understand that. Now, Bruce, you are a structures engineer. You know how buildings are built. And when I think of the ark, and this has always been true of me, is when I first heard about the ark and looked at the dimensions, it's long and thin, mm-hmm. and it would have to survive rough waters. It had to be built with some incredible strength. A lot of engineering there, and I'm sure you're dying to see the engineering, right?
Oh, yeah. You mentioned it being long, like an airplane wing, and you being an aeronautical engineer know that you have to have some support that goes the length, which really the best eyewitness was Ed Davis back in '49. Is that right?
1943.
43. He described it as having two giant walls, what we would call shear walls, that would run, horizontally to divide up the rooms, which would make sense structurally. So I was hoping if we walked into it, I'd see these giant shear walls. Some have said they were cross-sectioned with bulkhead type walls, which would make sense. Kind of look like a if you ever seen the old ice makers, the kind that we used to, fill ice trays.
Oh, yeah.
Where, yeah, kind of that type of shape is what I'm thinking would be the structure of the ark for both lateral and cross-dimensional support.
Now, the Chronicle of the Climb is on this DVD, Finding Noah, which, by the way, is a beautifully produced DVD. You can feel the chill in the air when you watch this thing. It's realistic. And how long were you up there, and how many feet did you have to climb?
We were in eastern Turkey for about 2 months. We had people on the summit for about 3 weeks. You were on the summit for
2 weeks.
2 weeks. But we had people on the summit for about 3 weeks out of that. It's you climb it in stages, so you can get adjusted to the altitude changes. But this was no simple task. We were there for 2 months working. We went into Armenia. The Armenian people embrace the story of Noah's Ark. That mountain used to be within their borders of Armenia, so they still claim it as their mountain, but it's in the backdrop of Armenia. It's beautiful. They really embrace that story.
Yeah, that's a side story. It's so sad. The Armenian Christians have been literally picked out for destruction over the last 100 years or so.
It was the first genocide of the 20th century. They, we often think that the Jews in World War II and the Holocaust was, but actually it was the Armenian people who were the very first ones.
Armenian Christians who really think of the mountain as their heritage. And
They
they
do.
believe Noah's Ark is up there, right?
Oh, they absolutely do. They absolutely do. It's incredible because we have accounts of some of the Armenians seeing the Ark. There was a monastery on the north side at about 7,000 feet that was there in 1840 before the Hoary Gorge blew out. It was said to have remnants of the Ark there at that monastery. But when that blew out that side of the mountain, it destroyed that monastery and killed some 200 people. That's all buried under rubble now. We can't find it. But we are searching target areas on that mountain to confirm if Noah's Ark is indeed there.
And just to let out a little secret here that you'll see in the long program that we're doing with Bruce and Aaron, just to let the cat out of the bag a little bit, you had a drilling device that enabled you to drill down through the ice in search of wood or wood fragments, and you actually found something.
Yes, we had a specially engineered gasoline-powered drill, if you will. It was kind of like a hand auger type deal, and we would drill 60 feet on average down through the ice till refusal. We don't know what we're hitting, but when we were bouncing off refusal, it's sending up up material, and then we took it into a makeshift lab, and out of the 40 cores, we found 2 that had some organic material in it, which we're currently taking through a process of testing to bear out exactly what it is.
And of course you would want it to be pitch.
Yes.
Because the ark was pitched within or without, and nobody really knows what the pitch, as described in the Bible, is made of, right?
Exactly.
So it could be some really high-tech material that God showed Noah how to make. You just don't know.
We don't know. I mean, it could be bituminous material, as Bruce says, organic. It could be some kind of sap that would essentially waterproof the inside and outside of the ark. But whatever that was, that's what we're hoping to confirm and find. Whatever that was, it did its job. It served a purpose.
Well, be watching for this program right here on Prophecy Watchers, and also go to the online bookstore and you can find this DVD, Finding Noah. a chronicle of the journey, one of the toughest journeys I've ever heard about. I've got to hand it to you both. Both of you, neither of you being mountain climbers. Bruce, you had to get in shape to do this.
Yes.
I mean, and it involved hard work, right?
Yes, Gary. Both Aaron and I both sought help from guys that were in the workout business, and I had to lose a lot of weight, Aaron, just a little. But nevertheless, we had to be in tip-top shape to climb. And then we climbed with a guide who had climbed Mount Everest 4 times. And it's a very dangerous mountain. It's the largest mountain in the world by volume. It's not the tallest, but it is very rocky and very dangerous. And if it wasn't for our brotherhood, our teamwork, if you will, none of us would have made it. But through the teamwork, and God was gracious, and we were able to get up there and do the work we were hoping to do, that of an archaeologist, a true archaeologist, where we used the correct surveying tools.
If you want to get a sense of what it's like to go to the top of Mount Ararat, this is the way to do it. Look at the DVD. Don't try the climb. Take my advice. I've talked to these guys. Unless, by the way, you're one of the top mountain climbers in the world, then okay. But it's not that easy. You have to get permits, right? You have to go through a lot of red tape. That mountain is kind of a hot spot, right? It's kind of a political object.
Yes. Gary, this man right here is the one who jumped through all those hoops. It's a geopolitical nightmare,
Yes.
if you want, really. And there's so many factors. We'd spend 3 hours telling you all the factors that went into that. But this man right here, I call him the glue to the operation. He glued it all together, from the movie team to the drill team to the experts that had to show up at the right time to weigh in, and everybody getting up and down the mountain safely. We only had a couple of accidents on our team. But by God's grace, we got the job done, and we believe God revealed a little bit of his boat to us.
Bruce Hall, thanks for coming by today.
You bet.
Aaron Judkins, thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
Lord bless you both, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you, Gary.
I'm Gary Stearman. Hey, keep watching. We are. Thanks for joining us on Prophecy Watchers. You can find us on the web at prophecywatchers.com, where you can sign up for our free email newsletter, or follow us at facebook.com/prophecywatchers. In the meantime, keep watching, everybody, and we'll see you soon.